In a quiet little town in Oregon, there lived a 17-year-old boy named Ben Walker. Ben was like a lot of us, smart, curious, and full of big dreams. He wanted to go to college, start a business, and make his parents proud. But lately, life hadn't been easy. His grades were slipping, his friends were moving ahead, and no matter how hard he tried, everything felt like it was falling apart. One evening, after another argument with his parents, Ben stormed out of the house and walked down the dirt road that led to his grandfather's old cabin at the edge of town. When Ben arrived, his grandfather, a quiet man with silver hair and kind eyes, was sitting on the porch sipping tea. "Rough day, huh?" the old man asked. Ben dropped onto the steps with a sigh. "Grandpa, I don't get it. I'm trying so hard, but nothing's working. Everything feels like it's against me." His grandfather smiled softly. "So, you want life to be easy?" Ben frowned. "I just want things to go right for once." The old man chuckled. "Come with me. I want to show you something." Behind the cabin was a small garden, wild and untidy, full of different plants and flowers. His grandfather pointed at two young maple trees, one growing in a pot on the porch and another planted outside in the open ground. "4 years ago," he said, "I planted both at the same time. Which one do you think is stronger?" Ben looked at them closely. The potted tree looked neat and healthy, its leaves bright green. The one outside, though, its bark was rough. Some leaves were torn by the wind, but it stood tall and firm. Ben said, "The one inside looks better. It's been protected from storms." His grandfather nodded. "That's what most people think, but look closer." They walked to the outdoor tree. Its roots were thick, pushing through the soil. The trunk was solid. "This tree," his grandfather said, "has been beaten by wind, soaked by rain, and frozen by snow. But because of that, its roots grew deeper and its trunk stronger. The one inside never faced a storm, so it never grew tough." Ben was silent, looking at the two trees side by side. His grandfather continued, "Life is the same, Ben. If you live inside the walls of comfort, you'll stay small and fragile. But when you face problems, when the storm hits, that's when your roots grow." Ben looked down, feeling a lump in his throat. "But Grandpa, what if I fail?" The old man smiled kindly. "Then you learn. You get stronger. The tree doesn't complain when the wind blows. It bends, but it doesn't break. That's how it survives." Ben thought about his life, his failed test, his rejection from the basketball team, the way he kept comparing himself to others online. Maybe all of it wasn't meant to break him. Maybe it was meant to build him. Over the next few days, Ben stayed with his grandfather, helping around the cabin. They repaired fences, watered plants, and watched sunsets together. Every night, the old man repeated one simple line: "Don't wish for an easy life, Ben. Wish for the strength to handle a hard one." And slowly, Ben started to understand. He began waking up early again, studying harder, and rebuilding his focus. He stopped complaining and started taking small steps. A few months later, Ben returned home. Things didn't magically get easier, but he was different. When challenges came, he didn't quit. When people doubted him, he didn't argue. He just worked quietly, and eventually his hard work started to pay off. He got accepted into a local college with a scholarship for environmental studies, something he had dreamed of. At his graduation party, his parents noticed how mature and grounded he had become. Ben smiled and said, "I learned to stop running from problems. They were never blocking my path. They were the path." A year later, Ben visited his grandfather again. The outdoor maple tree had grown taller, its branches wide and full of shade. Ben stood under it, smiling. "You were right, Grandpa. The storms made it stronger." His grandfather placed a hand on his shoulder. "And the storms made you stronger too. Don't ever forget that." Ben nodded. For the first time in a long while, he felt proud, not because life got easy, but because he learned to stand tall when it wasn't. Maybe you felt like Ben. Maybe life's been testing you, breaking your plans, throwing problems your way. But remember this, the pressure you feel today is shaping you into the person you need to become tomorrow. Your problems aren't punishments, They're your personal trainers. They're strengthening your roots, preparing you for your biggest growth. So don't hide from your struggles. Don't live just to please others or avoid discomfort. Be like that tree. Face the wind, face the rain, and grow through it all. Because success doesn't come from comfort. It comes from courage, consistency, and the willingness to keep going when others stop. And one day, you'll look back and realize, every storm that tried to break you only helped you grow stronger. If this story inspired you, remember, you are stronger than your problems, and your growth begins the moment you stop running from them. Thanks for watching Rise and Shine Motivation. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories every week. And tell us in the comments,